Hi guys, welcome back to our channel.
Hey, we're gonna be reviewing Black Panther 2. We just saw it like 30 minutes ago. So this is gonna be our raw, off the dome thoughts.
Yeah, there will be spoilers, so maybe don't watch if you do plan on seeing it.
Yeah.
Just add this to your watch later. Come back to it.
Yeah.
We just like to mess around because he's so religious. So we just like to joke around like that.
Alright, we've moved locations for quieter space.
So the way we're gonna do our review is just basically going in chronological order and basically just sharing our opinion of each individual
event.
event.
So the movie started out by showing T'Challa dying, and then Shuri was trying to save him and she couldn't, and then it shows like her grieving after that. She kind of just jumps back into like her work and trying to find solutions to every like possible problem that could happen.
So then after that, they had the funeral for T'Challa, and it seemed like other people were kind of used to the mourning process because it was traditional to like be sad, but like still understand that you just have to let go. But I guess since it was her brother, she didn't see it coming, and because she was like the least traditional person in their country, she kind of had trouble dealing with her grieving.
Maybe they don't attend the other funerals either because they are royalty. I'm assuming they wouldn't go to just like civilians funerals. Maybe that was the first one because nobody else in her family died. Yeah.
It was interesting seeing how she felt because in the first Black Panther, she was just, oh, let me laugh at everything, oh, ha ha ha, you know? So it was kind of sad seeing her actually like break down. Like weirder knowing that there are so many people who like don't say anything about their health. They just like keep it a secret and then they pass away, and then it's like, oh, all this time they were like suffering in silence. That's what they said in the movie. Suffering in silence.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's basically what he was doing.
They kind of mirrored his death like in the movie too, because I don't remember anything like tragic happening to him. Like I don't even remember him getting injured. Just like, oh, he's dying, he's dead now. Like kind of what happened.
Yeah. So then we flash forward a year later, and it's like on the same day, like T'Challa's 1 year anniversary of dying, and it shows Shuri in her lab, and she's basically like dismissing her mom talking about it. She was like, oh, it's just Tuesday, like just another day. And it's basically showing how Shuri seemed to have never really mourned as much, because it shows that his mom had cut her hair and stuff, her locks. I guess that's a spiritual thing too.
I did hear that actually, because they say like hair will like hold trauma.
It's crazy. I don't know if they technically did the same thing with Shuri, because Shuri had braids in the first one, and in this one she just had the high top. I don't know if that's the same thing. I think it's the same thing.
Could be.
So, yeah, it was pretty parallel to how anyone would feel if they just intellectualized their feelings and never confronted them.
So after Shuri and her mom talk, then Namor and his people are introduced, and they show them sinking a government ship that's trying to mine for vibranium. And oh yes, and then they assumed that because in Black Panther, T'Challa like told the world about vibranium, that they had like sent the government to find more of it.
Yeah, they're just pinning it on the Wakandans, saying, wow, you really messed up this big secret of these two secret societies. Now it's your time to clean this up. And it was really interesting seeing them be blue, because in the trailers, did they show them being blue? I don't even remember the trailers for real, but anyways, so seeing them blue was actually kind of trippy, because like last night I'd seen the Avatar 2 trailer like right before that, so I was like, is this like a crossover?
It was really stupid, honestly, for them to assume that, because Wakanda and I think they're called the Talokan people in the Mars group, they're the only people who have vibranium. So, and they were the ones trying to keep it from the government in the last movie. And I don't know if they're just not up to date or what, but like, why would you think they're like selling you out to the government? Or if you even thought that was their own group. The whole ship was just white people, so it's not making sense, you know?
Yeah, I feel like they just assumed, oh, you've come public to the UN? Clearly you're working with them, even though you keep telling them that you're not selling the vibranium. Like, what sense does that make? But yeah, so he just is like, you have to fix this because I'm just gonna pin this on you. As if I'm not the one who literally just killed these people, you know? So yeah, fix this with me. And then basically he's doing this, like he's threatening them basically after like sneaking into Wakanda somehow. I really wonder how they're getting into Wakanda. They're just like going under the bridge.
It's
through
like
the water.
through the water, yeah.
I could have sworn that the barrier would have gone through the water.
Oh yeah.
No sense, nonsensical, man. Oh yeah, and then I don't know if this was before or after, but at the UN, the Queen speaks to France and the United States, but they're in Switzerland. So like actually in this scene, they show the United States like their little like name tag under the dude, like little good from the Good Doctor, and it said like Estats Unite.
Yeah.
But then I saw France and then they said chair. I'm like, why is this
And
not
he has
in
no
English?
type of accent either.
Exactly. I'm like, where are we? Like, why is this in like this different like gibberish font? Anyways, so then she tells the world basically, T'Challa died like a year ago, you guys. Like, what are we doing? And then they have the France people behind their back during this meeting that were trying to infiltrate the Wakandan lab. And then there was just the Wakandan army inside of the lab that they were trying to infiltrate, and then they end up bringing those soldiers to the UN meeting to try to tell them, even though we don't have Black Panther, we still are aware that you guys are trying to do stuff behind our back.
I liked when they showed that, because I honestly was like, like this stuff is just unguarded. They were gonna take it, because everybody was just like, they were acting like they were terrified. And like the girl that gave them access, like he threw her on the ground. Turns out she was a warrior too.
Exactly. Like they're all stronger, better. They're simply just better. Like, I don't know. They should be training them to like actually, well, I guess they can't really because like they have the vibranium technology. They're more advanced. They have the genius Shuri. I guess America doesn't have any geniuses. Like, they're pretty much just out intellectualized.
I mean, they did cut his gun in half, so
That's crazy.
kind of can't beat that. Just like padded up white guys.
What's the point though? Like, if I was aware that superheroes existed in my universe, I would most definitely not join the military. You're gonna tell me to go to Wakanda and steal this stuff? No, thank you. They're gonna kill me. All I have is a gun. Like all
That
these,
is really stupid. They had to have heard something.
right?
Like this stuff. That was just like a little over a year ago then that they just like had their little war.
Right.
Wouldn't happen if it was me.
Yeah, if it was you. If it was me and illegal, it wouldn't be happening.
After that, Okoye is, well, before How No More had threatened them, he gave them a little shell and said, get the scientist girl who like made the machines to track the vibranium, then blow into the shell and we'll like come and kill her on spot. Then Okoye, like she's the one that's gonna go out and get her because she's their top leader, their soldier. She was telling the queen that Shuri should come because she's kind of just been in her lab for a year, I guess, and hasn't went on any like missions. So then they go out and, well, first, yes, they got Shuri, and then they go to Virginia where that white, you know, their intel dude is at, and he tells them the location of the student who made the machine. They go there, and then they find out she did not even she's not trying to steal the vibranium. The government actually just took her design from her school, I guess. I don't even know how.
Either that or the professor was onto it and made her because they knew that she was super smart, or she was lying. For a minute I thought that they knew and they were paying her secretly and she was lying. She just had like a lying face when she had said that. She's like, oh no, I did not do that.
I was thinking that for a second, but I was like, how would she even like collab with the government?
And why would she make that?
Yeah, like she's black, so. But someone at the university got word to the government and they sold, or not even sold, they just took her design. I don't even think she knew that it was out. Cause she was like, yeah, I just made that for my class. It's just a little project.
Right.
And then they're like, oh, well, she's innocent. We want to take her back to Wakanda instead of taking her to Namor because she didn't even mean to do that. It was the government who's like been trying to get this for the longest time. And then they try to go back to Wakanda, but like the government has been tracking them this whole time. And they show up and they try to escape.
And mind you, Shuri's with them, but her mom was like, no, don't go.
I'm kind of off topic there, but yeah.
But yeah, so now they're in Massachusetts. They're wrapped around, well, they wrapped up Riri and they threw a water bomb onto the bridge, and now Okoye and Shuri crashed, whatever. And so Okoye was like, oh my God, Shuri did. But then she's not dead, so she's just unconscious, and Okoye is fighting these blue people. And that dude, Atuma, I think is his name, he was really embarrassing her. Like, I would feel so embarrassed if he literally was like, you're not worth my blade. Right, kicked it back to her. I was like, I would like jump off the bridge. I would be so embarrassed. Oh my gosh. She gets thrown off the bridge because another water bomb. I'm really sick of those water bombs. They're so annoying. And then the splash of water brings Shuri back from her unconsciousness. And then she just goes with these blue people and like, yeah, sure. You know, even though my mom told me to just come back home. Yeah, so they take Riri and Shuri underwater, and Okoye is like, dang, what am I gonna tell the queen, man? And she gets home and she gets fired.
Yeah, I thought that was stupid. Well, I guess she didn't know. Neither of them knew that she went willingly, but like, it wasn't even like it was like anything that was really her fault. There was like 5 of them to begin with. One of them was huge. The 2 of them were, the Shuri and the girl were unconscious. Like, it's a wonder she's alive in the first place. And then she's just like, well, all my family's dead, so I don't really care how down you are for the kingdom. Go and we'll stay with like the weaker ones instead. Like, what? Because she was like, I feel like she could have at least like sent her out still and just said like, after you get her back, it's a wrap. Like, you had to fire her. She was the best one.
That's true.
I thought that was kind of silly.
Yeah.
Unwarranted, because Shuri had went because I think she was trying to like bargain with them, because I think she thought that the Namor people would like, once they realized she was innocent, they would like see reason.
Yeah.
And that was not the case.
Not at all. She gets fired, right? And then she's a civilian in her little blue and not the red anymore. And what happens? So like, Queen Mother, she heads on over to Haiti. And guess who's in Haiti? Nakia. And then she's like, oh my God, I haven't seen you in 6 years. And she's like, can you please do one thing for me, even though I haven't seen you in a long time? It's like, dude, why? She's like, just do it. Just get my daughter back right quick. And she's like, oh, sure, yeah. Let me just leave my school that I'm teaching at and just do this whole borderline deadly mission. So
she did say like at whatever cost when she was asking her if she go in the water.
Any means like, necessary to get her back.
This is your kid, not hers.
Right. Well,
that's even crazier, like considering what happens at the end.
But Nakia is like, yeah, I'll go do this little mission journey for you. She goes under there. She finds Shuri and Riri, and they're being held hostage basically. And while she's under here, Namor had been summoned up to the surface by the queen to have a little conversation. He was all up in her ear.
I did not like that. That was so like awkward.
Right, you can back
you're
up.
Not even looking at her eyes at that point. That's not intimidating.
Oh, after this, Nakia gets Shuri and Riri, and they get into the ship, and then they had a little 360 pan around Shuri and the mom hugging. They're like, oh my god, you're saved. I guess I really didn't need to fire Okoye, but oh well. And then they just go home.
Then war starts.
Yeah, war ensues.
But listen, the Nakia, she killed 2 of their people. And they like destroyed the capital of Wakanda.
Very much.
What? Like a kid, like a little boy almost died. Like you're just like water bombs left and right, which like doesn't make no sense, honestly.
I think it was a powerful weapon, to be honest. Like,
yeah, but
it's annoying though. It's like a little kid annoying you. Like, you can stop with this water stuff. It's annoying. I don't know, like drowning people. That seems like kind of mean. I don't know. But before this, Nakia and Okoye, they hug it out and they're like talking about the death of T'Challa. I guess it wasn't really important, but yeah. Like right before this, they're like, something's about to happen, and then something happens.
it's just like he's going very hard on them, honestly, and like all the people with their little like water masks are just on land trying to kill everybody they can.
They were doing the most. Like, if you know these civilians really, I guess they're just more obsessed with the fact that they are using vibranium in their country, but not
It doesn't even seem
realizing that it's not something that you just use because you live here. It's more so
Yeah.
a resource.
yeah, like those people, they're like fishing.
Right.
I don't think they even, I mean, I'm assuming they know about it, but they're not doing
flashing
anything
it.
with it. Yeah, they're like farmers. They're living
Right.
off the land here.
Villagers, peasants, if you will. They're just there.
Then after Namor decides this is enough casualties, he like, oh, he can fly with his little wings on his feet, and so he flaps on up to the window and stabs a spear or punches the glass and it cracks. I thought that was to talk to her at first. To like
To talk to her?
I mean that like see like this is what happens, like another threat.
Oh.
Like just like reinforcing, you know. But then he comes out with his million water bombs and like floods the whole building. And then the mom and like all the, I don't know, the floor is like glass or something, and like the explosion cracks it. I don't know. They fall under. The mom saves Riri and then drowns.
This all happened in slow motion, which made it so cool, you guys. That sucks. She didn't really have to do all that. Like, well, not she, but like the people who made this. That's kind of like cruel. Why does every superhero have to be good just because they lost everyone close to them? Like, who does she have to lean on except for that dude from the Jaboye?
I feel like they did not need to kill the mom.
M'Baku.
Oh, yeah, definitely that, yeah.
Yeah, I was really upset when they killed the mom. I thought that was so unnecessary. Plus, it's Angela Bassett. Like, she was like a cool queen.
Yeah, after the mom dies, this kind of sends Shuri into her little like evil spiral. She's just like, which I understand because she didn't even do anything. Oh, I forgot to mention that when Nakia killed those 2 people, one of them was not, she had just shot her. And Shuri was like, let me have your beads, I can pop one in, save her life. And Nakia's like, no, we're gonna leave. And then Namor just like waged war, and I'm sure she felt, you know, uncalled for. She didn't do anything. And then she's just like, no, I'm gonna come back 2 times harder. So she tries to remake the herb, and she does. Then she becomes Black Panther.
She has her dramatic entrance into the M'Baku's little chambers.
That was pretty cool, honestly. I liked her suit with the gold.
Yeah, it looked a lot better than the silver in my opinion. But yeah, that's kind of not the point. So she actually like accepts her new status as technically not only queen but also Black Panther. And well, she's kind of just telling M'Baku, you're gonna listen to me, okay?
Yeah.
You're gonna come kill these people, whether you want to.
He did not want to. Also, Nakia didn't seem to want to. Oh, when she drank the, whatever, say so. But when she drank the herb, she saw it's her cousin, the evil one.
Killmonger.
Yes, Killmonger. She saw him. She wanted to see her mom. And then she like did not want to admit. I don't think she ever did admit that she saw him. But he was just like, are you gonna be like good like your stupid little brother? You're gonna get stuff done like me. And she's like,
I hate him.
yeah. I mean,
his lore made sense in the first one, but like after a while it was just getting out of hand. He was getting annoying.
yeah. But I guess she decided, I know they showed that she said she wasn't like her brother, but I guess she decided to be evil. And he's like talking about how her dad was a hypocrite and he would have killed him. And that, yeah. But she had enough. She wanted to like avenge her mom, I think. So, yeah, she recruits all of them. They go out to
The middle of the Atlantic Ocean.
yeah, they just go to the ocean on like their big invisible ship. Oh, they lured the Nemoran people out with like that vibranium drill, whatever.
Detector.
They put that out and like the Nemoran people flock. And then they attack.
And during the attack, it was really, really dramatic because they were really outnumbered. I don't understand. Well, I guess I understand why they did it in the water, but like think about it like this.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I thought they were gonna go on land.
It would have made sense because they are water creatures. They're more powerful. They can have all their people on standby. When he came to you guys, he caught you guys off guard. Did you guys technically get him off guard? Yeah, but he kind of knew that you guys were gonna come with a punchback. So like, why would you guys go into the ocean where they are abundant and try to fight them while you guys just have a few people on this tiny little boat who can't swim? How are you gonna fight them in the water?
Yeah.
They're not gonna come to the boat. They're gonna rip you off the boat and stab you. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, they tried to get them by having the detector emit like a sound frequency that hurt them, so they had to come to the surface and they tried to shoot them, but it doesn't seem like guns really affect them, so I don't know
Exactly.
what the point of that was. What I thought they were gonna do was like have some type of net, because they realized like the dehydration thing with, they realized that Namor gets more powerful because he can breathe air and get air from the water, so they're like, let's just dry him out. And I thought they were gonna get like a big net and scoop all of them off the top and like do that to all of them. I feel like that, rather than, I don't know, it's kind of stupid to just go for him. But
He said he had a big army, so I don't know why they didn't like take that literally. He said he has a bigger army than the amount of blades of grass they have in Wakanda. He kind of was telling the truth.
it is an ocean, like they have like infinite space, so. And she saw their city, like you know it's big.
Right.
Really silly.
No battle IQ.
Yeah.
She can build something, but she can't fight.
Then with that whale, I thought that was a rock at first. It's just a bunch of more water bombs that they tied to a whale, and then they sunk their ship, and like the majority of their people died that way. Then they end up being outnumbered.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. Also, they made a new suit for Okoye and
Aneka.
yeah. And they kept them in the ship the whole time until they were outnumbered, and even after the ship is like sinking, they still did not release them, which is really silly because like they can fly and they have like the same strength as the Nemoran people, so it was,
And skills.
yeah, it was the most powerful warrior. Why are you
man.
locking them up?
But then again, like the blue people are technically made out of vibranium if they're ingesting vibranium. So that's probably why it was so hard to beat them.
I guess that's kind of like Black Panther then. See, like they didn't need to make them blue. Black Panther's not blue.
Well, he's ingesting, that's vibranium that he's ingesting. So they have blue vibranium, their flowers are purple. So it's like, well, it kind of made his skin glow purple for a second. Maybe because they actually like took their amounts. Maybe they're just built different. I don't know, skill issue on Wakanda's part. So at this point, yes, at this point, Namor is getting sizzled like SpongeBob in the ending of like, what movie was that? The SpongeBob SquarePants movie, basically. But then he's like, let me just stab the ship and like I can get out of this little heat vent. And it takes him to the coast of this other island, a little further away from where everyone else is fighting. and they just battle it out one-on-one. And they're just like, I don't know, it feels like they're just trying to like prove they're each other's points or something. I don't know, they weren't talking, which I liked. I hate when they're talking and fighting, but she ends up getting impaled, and he's like, yeah, I need some water. And then he can't even make it to the little coast, and then she unimpales herself and is like, I'm gonna kill you with this spear. And then she has a vision, like in The Lion King, at the last minute, and she's like, oh, guess I shouldn't kill him. Guess my mom was right about the ancestral realm. She didn't abandon me. And then they have this whole entire little montage of like them and how it feels being like, basically just showing the parallels.
They do have a common enemy after all, and they're pretty similar. And then she decides not to kill him, says that they can like have an alliance if he yields. He does, and then they cut to them like flying back to the ship. He calls off his people when they're like about to die. Everybody kneels.
So basically, she's just like, that was embarrassing. I would have called that if I were you. That's just me though. And she, and the more, the dude is like, they'll need us one day again. You know, just out of luck, you know, next time.
Because the government still doesn't know about them really. The one white guy does, but sort of, he knows like that there's something, but like he doesn't even know about them specifically still. So it's just like, well, like now they think we're allies, and that's how we'll get them. We'll like leave them hanging, and yeah, which is like, come on. What? They're asking nothing of you just to like fight with them, and they wanted to destroy the world anyway. Like, this is your chance to like take down the government. I don't know why he's like so against that all of a sudden. I thought that was like very stupid on his part.
Right, and at the end of the day, any crimes that the Namor and his people commit, they're gonna blame on the Wakandans. Like, you have no witnesses at any of your crime scenes. Apparently no one has seen any blue people coming out of the water. You're good. You're safe. You stop worrying about what they're doing. They're not doing anything.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like at that point, you know, they're not even trying to sabotage you like you thought at the beginning. Like, you have an alliance. You was like, now we've got them. Now they like care for us.
Right. Like,
shut up.
Sense.
You're being so ridiculous.
He should study like war and history. Like, why would you force someone to be your ally? They're just gonna end up turning against you because it's like no free will. So just give them time. You killed her mom.
Exactly, and she forgave you.
Right.
And you have the nerve to try to turn on her.
Right.
That's this guy.
This guy is kind of crazy.
It cuts to Shuri in Haiti because Nakia had said that she could live there with her before. And she's just like finding peace, and she's like, she burns her, like, what was it? Her funeral outfit to show that she's like done with the mourning process for her brother. And then it reveals that Nakia has a son with T'Challa. I was shocked.
It was crazy. I was like, oh my God. But then I guess that kind of made sense because they probably don't want to continue with Shuri being queen, because it seems like she probably doesn't even want to be queen for real. Or, well, he'll grow up. They're like, what, 20 years apart? He'll grow up, take her place. Right, I really didn't see that coming. It was kind of crazy, kind of, I don't know. I guess it was the right decision because it's like basically continuing the legacy. But at the end of the day, some part of me felt like, what if they only gave him a son because they don't want Black Panther to be a girl? Like, what if he had a daughter? Would it be the same thing, or does it have to be a son? Like, no offense, no offense.
So that it could be a junior, really.
Yeah. Well, that is a wrap. Now we can talk about our overall thoughts on the movie, because that was kind of like a 50-minute rundown.
I liked it. Out of 10. Out of 10, I would probably give it like an 8.5 or so. I liked how they related Namor and the Black Wakanda people to like minorities in real life. We kind of don't know anything about each other, but like for some reason, minorities still wanna like are at each other's throats, and like really we should be against white people rather than each other. Peace and harmony and all of that. Like really, like we kind of are no threat to each other, and it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, we're pretty powerless against each other. I feel like if anything, maybe if one of us were like wealthier than the other, that would make some sense. Because like the richer you are, I feel like technically the closer you are to being white, because it seems like a lot of white people are like financially well off. But that's a story for another day. I feel like minority groups, I've been so brainwashed over the past few like centuries that we just assume that we need to be ranking each other's oppression at all times, while white people are literally just vibing because they've created this madness. So yeah, I think this could potentially bring together minority groups, and it'll be cool to see Shang-Chi too. And what else do they have?
I think that's it.
That's it. Black people, Latino people, and
Asian?
East Asia at least, yeah. Oh wait, they have the Marvels. One of the Marvel people is South Asian, I think. Anyways, moving forward, maybe seeing idolized versions of ourselves can help us realize we can be one. We can just work together and stop like yelling at it.
That's true. I feel like it kind of go either way though, because like I feel like you could kind of sympathize with either side and be like, well, like they're justified because of this from like their point of view, and like still not really see it. But hopefully that won't happen.
Hopefully. Yeah, so my rating out of 10 for the movie is like an 8 or so, as Lika said. I think that it was a proper trailer because it did a lot with the mourning aspect of it, did a lot with the intellectual aspect of it, and did a lot with introducing a new concept at the same time. Was it really long though? Yes, almost 3 hours. That was
for being too long.
I mean, who wants to sit and watch a 3-hour movie? I mean, I can, but like that was long. I guess that's really not the point though. Like the movie itself was good in my opinion. It kind of showed the dynamics between African American people and African people too, because at the beginning of the movie it showed how the cousin's dad was African American, but T'Challa's dad was staying in Wakanda. So that was interesting, but I can't remember it either. I haven't seen it in a while. But from what I've seen, showed it justice, I think. It didn't really try to make it seem like, oh, we miss how it used to be. It has to be all about making things stay the same or close to the same. Like it still showed, like the movie itself kind of showed how Shuri moved on as the movie's timeline progressed.
Mm-hmm. I'm interested to see how in the next one they like not do the same thing, but like show how the mom's death has affected them all as well too. And seeing Shuri coming into her own now. She's like the main character now. It's pretty cool.
I think it was really interesting seeing Namor's lore. I think it's very interesting because in the comics he was just a white dude. So I liked how they kind of tied it to like racial things, and I can already see people saying that they're trying to be woke or something. Oh, they're trying to be woke in Hollywood again, showing the enslavement of people in Latin America. Oh, that was 500 years ago. Get over it. You know what I mean? Like I feel so bad how people did the same thing with Wakanda. They're like, the African people can't be that great. They live in huts and they're all poor and don't have food. So this is just a figment of you guys' imagination. You know what I mean? Hopefully people don't do that, but I'm sure that they will. I think that Riri Williams, the Ironheart girl, I think she was pretty cool. I hope they really don't make it try to seem like she's replacing Iron Man, but is like her own character, you know?
I also liked how they made it similar to minorities in real life, because Namor and his family, they were all Latino, and then the Wakandans are Black or African.
Mm-hmm. And they had the one African American, Riri.
When Namor was talking about how he was just gonna like turn on them at the end, I feel like that was kind of accurate too to minorities, because I was thinking about how in beauty supplies, like I think they're Korean. This was based on a movie like The Fault in Our Stars or something with Yara Shahidi, where the sun is also a star.
I've never seen that.
But in that, the male love interest was Korean, and they were like giving history about beauty supplies, and I guess a lot of them are Korean owned, and like they will only employ Korean people. And I was kind of thinking about that in relation to this, like you get like a foot in the door and you just like try to like take everything. That shows how like minorities kind of don't really want to seem to work together.
Yeah, kind of fall for the stereotypes.
Yeah, they see you as competition, and like even if you are doing well, or like they struggled and are now doing well, they still don't want to help you. It's like, well, like I had to struggle and nobody was there for me, so I don't want to help you, kind of thing. And I feel like that could kind of be what they're trying to portray as well. Maybe not that exactly, but you know, the gist of that.
That makes sense.
But I did like his backstory and how they like showed the creation of his people. Thought that was interesting. And I do understand it, like you finally have some power against, you know, the oppressors, and you don't want to get in a position of weakness again. But they're in the same position. Like the government tried to get into their facilities, even while they're like in a meeting with them, they still are sending people after them. So they're not in any better position. And T'Challa didn't do anything but like show the world he existed.
True.
It wasn't, I don't remember them like telling about the technology except to that one dude.
The white dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just gonna be called the white dude. I don't remember his name. But yeah, at the end of Black Panther, he went to the UN and said that, hey, we have vibranium or whatever. We can use it to like, I don't know, I guess stop wars. And they're like, no, we're going to make weapons with vibranium. We're not gonna cause peace. Like, what's the point? I think that that's the issue, because I think the whole point of this was just to say that white people kind of have like bad intent with pretty much everything they do, and they're kind of just trying to get power. Like the little lawyer lady. She was like, I'm dreaming of the time in which we have vibranium. Like, what?
Yeah.
Strange.
Yeah. I like that dude, that whatever his, maybe we'll figure out his name, the agent white guy. I liked how he was actually trying to help them, and he was the one that shared the name of the scientist to begin with. The wife was devious too. She bugged Shree's bracelet. You left that there and planted it for him because you knew he would help them. Like, that's evil.
I haven't watched She-Hulk, but I'm assuming she's from She-Hulk.
I haven't watched it either.
I hope she's not the villain. That's kind of a lame villain. You just manipulating people? Come on now. Thanks for watching, guys. Let us know what you guys were thinking in the comments. And here are our social medias.
And make sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications, and stay tuned for the next video. Maybe let us know if you guys have any ideas of what we should do next. We do have a few things planned, but we're open to more. Bye.